Nads, did you know the Dark Souls of platformers has arrived? Because the Dark Souls of platformers has totes arrived, bro. Because we measure difficulty and delineations of Dark Souls now, bro. So if can't handle it, we'll pop a bag of Doritos, take a swig of Code Red, park your Heineken tea cozy, and get good, bro.
Okay, they're dead, all right? We're not gonna be seeing them again.
The Dark Souls of platformers, really, gaming media? As cute as it was the first 9.6 trillion times you printed it, how's about we stop distilling the essence of every game in existence to whatever nauseating neo-gaff goat shit the intellectual amoebas at Gamma Sutra happen to find challenging? How many of you read their articles? Chinese finger traps confound these fucksticks. This is the same gaming media that crouch walked their wayfish asses through the review boot camps for the Phantom Pain with a chicken hat and a hard-on while a Konami miner pressed a 1911 to the base of their brainstem so they can meet the dipshit deadline without running afoul of the fucking hype cycle. So no, it's not the Dark Souls of platformers, fucknob. It's the Cuphead of platformers, and Cuphead is the bee's butt fucking knees. We've misplaced much low this last half decade. David Bowie, Lemmy Kilmister, Onision's babysitting license, but the most worrisome missing persons case in the new millennium, at least where gaming is concerned, are the heretofore unknown whereabouts of the fucking fun. But chin up, chunderfuck, because just as we'd tired of AAA tripe, just as we could suffer not another minute of corporate dipfucks with dad bods bloviating about brown and gray shitbag shooters, just as we'd forgotten what fucking color looked like, we were kicked in the cock by Cuphead, an indescribably pleasurable pastiche of old-timey Felix the Cat meets Mickey Mensch with a playstyle equal parts Donkey Kong Country, Super Meat Boy, and Mega Man. I knew there was something special about Cuphead when I died for the 9th straight fucking time, yet not with a squeegee caked in Clorox could I wipe the wide-ass retard smirk off my fucking face hole. Which isn't to argue for the game's perfection, mind you. As the inaugural effort from a fledgling indie outfit, there are bound to be more frayed edges than John Bon Jovi's closet. The parry function is fucking great, except for the all too frequent occasions when it registers parry and the damage you are attempting to avoid right along with it. The standard attack is more gimp than California gun control, and the platforming levels could use a lick of paint or 1500. But when the sum total is this artfully crafted, when the animation is this fluid, the art style this distinct, the gameplay this sadistically addictive, whining about the odd indie dev teething issue is like pointing out pigeon shit on the Eiffel Tower. But sadly, it's also being released in 2017. The year of professional victimhood, of clannish partisan bullshit and brazen political posturing, and to that end, I don't think I've ever seen the slacktivist more conflicted on a title in my life. On the one hand, Cuphead's small market retrosploitation is the precise variety of hipster horseshit this wool cap wearing foot scooter suck-ass syndicate usually ovulate over ad astra. On the other, the game also had the gall, the unmitigated fuck you-ness to be simultaneously enjoyed by people they disagree with politically. Hence the press are once again apoplectic, outright hyperventilatedly hysterical over something they're powerless to define. You gotta respect the few that have come right the fuck out with it, with at least a handful of landlocked rainbow-coiffed sperm whales outright alleging that the game would be great if it wasn't enjoyed by literal Nazis. While others are forced to embrace more absurdist screeds, cisgendered Satan, Mugman's racist because he isn't filled with chocolate fucking milk, to the game being discriminatory, not for having any Panzerfaust proclivities of its own, but for being inspired by cartoons that occasionally fucking did. Fucking wow! Hey, Bacula, you ever quantum leap on back to that wonky World War II period, the preachy-ass Wolfenstein and Call of Duty World War II marketing your cream and your culottes over's inspired by? Or are you all too cognizant of the fact that you'd get a Zyklon B butt-fucking for your trouble?
I'm retarded?
History is positively lurid with political incorrectness. The storming of the Bastille, the Pinkerton Homestead Massacre, in the immortal words of Stick.
Big world, not all of it flowers and sunshine.
What's more, a paragon of PC in one epoch is invariably seen as a quaint artifact of colloquial paranoia in a later one. And might I suggest that through the longer lens of history, to refuse to depict said flaws in frank terms thereafter, you're not only precluding future generations from learning from the mistakes of their forebears, but engaging in the very same matter of mass revisionism that has preceded every major tragedy in world history and netted us a pair of world fucking wars. So here's an imponderable fucking concept. How about you judge it as a game? Because on those terms, Cuphead shreds your ass all clean open and wears you like a fucking skin suit. And when you aren't agonizing your way through a deadly decathlon of platforming challenges, you'll find it's the boss battles that carry the vast majority of the weight here. And brother, do they ever fucking lift. Randomized enough to forestall sameness and repetition with enough phases and variety of offense to befuddle even the most strident pattern-humping speedrunner re-raise, Cuphead is that rare breed of challenge that pairs dong-pulverizing difficulty and effervescent enjoyment in equal measure. If I had one minor critique of the approach, It would actually be similar to my sentiments on the also excellent Mega Man 9 and particularly 10, insomuch as all three frequently feel like a parody of the retro gaming greatness to which they aspire. At its worst, this means the difficulty becomes the totality of the game rather than a mere facet of it. But I'm happy to report this doesn't happen frequently enough to deflate my dong for 15 adjacent microseconds. What many seem to forget is that Cuphead was envisioned as the flagship in a veritable battle fleet of badassery, as Microsoft made a calculated deviation from the standard center screen pull trigger kill shittery that characterizes so much of the Big M's AAA endeavors. And while the promised indie assault turned out to be more of a light thrashing in the short run, it's nice to know the centerpiece, numerous delays notwithstanding, lived up to every iota of its already prodigious potential. Sink on back into your Barca Lounger and stew in that sublime goddamn irony. The killer app for the Xbox One, and perhaps one of the top 5 killer apps of this generation, is Cuphead! And that ain't a slam either. I'd spend 8 hours having my gonads ground into a fine paste by the more punishing passages of Cuphead before I'd suffer 15 consecutive seconds of hipster beard Kratos Presents, a game that will be universally praised by the pissants in the press, but still 30 times less successful than the Skyrim game it's transparently fucking cloning. But do me a solid, industry, clone me a Cuphead or 20 while you're at it, because this game is goddamn superb. I'm Razor Fist. God fucking speed.